Hi, I'm Andrew Dye, Operations Director for Unity Homes, and I'm here on this Unity Trad job site today with Stuart Scannell, Unity Project Manager, who's behind the camera. Our crew raised this shell about 2 weeks ago, and we're stopping by to do some filming and take some pictures and check things out. And I figured this would be a good opportunity to make a video and show what this completed shell looks like. This is the Unity Trad platform, as I've mentioned. These dormers, there's a dormer on the front side and the back side, which are pretty typical of the Trad. And this Trad also has the optional first floor bedroom suite, which you can see is a shed roof off behind the main volume of the Trad. There was an existing building on this property, which is this green cottage here, and the owner is planning to connect that cottage to the Trad via a breezeway when the weather gets warmer. But that's part of the master plan here for the property, and then the green building is going to turn into a garage that will serve the house. The client is an owner-builder, and he seems like he's a pretty capable guy. Unity projects can work well for owner-builders because we're doing the heavy lifting, really literally and figuratively, with the shell of the house, the high-performance shell. When our crew leaves the site, it's essentially weather-tight. All the seams are taped, all the insulation is in, all the windows and all but one of the doors are in, and it's ready to start finishing on the exterior and the interior. You'll notice that we left out the main entry door here. Typically we'll leave out one door and not pre-install it in the shop so that it can be used as an entrance during the course of construction, and then the permanent door will be installed at a later date. Let's take a look around the other side and then we'll go inside. All right, just wanted to note a few details here. The windows are all pre-installed in the shop, and they're all flashed and taped both for a weather seal and for an air seal. These are European style tilt-turn windows that are mounted midway in the wall, which is a little bit unusual, so they'll get extension jambs here to finish the top and the two sides, and then metal sill pans here will finish the bottom of the window opening. You can see all the seams and the zip sheathing are taped. That's also to create an air and water barrier. And then we actually tape from the bottom of these wall panels to the insulation that's on the outside of the foundation. This is a graphite impregnated EPS insulation, expanded polystyrene, and it's what we recommend for insulating slabs and foundations. This is about R5 per inch, so 3 inches would be R15. This is a slab foundation, a little bit unusual in general in New England for foundations, but not unusual for Unity homes. So probably 50% of the homes that we build are on slab foundations. There are some significant advantages to the slab foundation. The owner-builder here, Tracy, was saying that he had to explain to the subs what those advantages are because they're so used to working with basements, but he's real happy with the slab, and we end up doing them on a lot of our projects. Here's the double logic door, and I just wanted to note also the door buck. This is something that we install. This door buck at the bottom of the door allows us to pre-install the door in the shop. It requires that there is a recess in the edge of the slab that's cast into the edge of the slab. That's all in the foundation plans, but it's just something to note for the foundation sub and the GC to make sure that those recesses are properly installed so that when we fly these wall panels in place that have the doors pre-installed, everything fits the way that it should. Let's take a look inside. All right, it's warmer in here. So with the Trad, we've got these beautiful timbers. The Trad is the platform, one of our 5 platforms that has the most timbers, and there's this aisleway that's created by these 2 lines of timbers down the middle of the house. Entry door at the far end of that aisle, these double glass doors at this end. You can see this door that's lying on the slab is about to be installed as a temporary construction door in that opening where eventually the permanent front entry door will go. In terms of the layout, this is pretty typical open kitchen, dining, living area for the Trad. And then we've got an entry closet here with a half bath beyond. And then these stairs go up to the 2nd floor. And then beyond this living area is the 1st floor master suite. So we'll take a look at some details here. We'll start with some notes about the engineering. You'll notice these metal straps that are flanking some of the windows, and this hold-down hardware here as well that you'll see in some of the corner, and then these anchor bolts that run around basically the whole perimeter of the house, anchoring the bottom plate of the service layer to the slab. So the homes that we build are very highly engineered, and this hardware exemplifies that engineering. We're building homes that we're hoping are going to last for 100 years, 200 years, and so we want to make sure that structurally they're going to be sound for that length of time. Other things to note here are the mid-mounted windows. We saw that from the outside, so here again, it's going to require extension jambs on the inside. There will be a sill here on the inside, and then the trim will go on top of the sheetrock, which goes on top of the service cavity. The service cavity itself is created by 2x3s, and we notch these 2x3s to facilitate wiring. So it's a great space in which to run wires, also some pipes, some smaller pipes, PEX tubing, without actually interfering with the insulation and with the structure, which are behind this layer of OSB. You'll notice that this is taped because this layer of OSB is also an air and vapor barrier as part of our wall assembly. The wall assembly it's dense packed with cellulose, and it's designed to dry both to the inside and to the outside in the unlikely event that any moisture should get into the wall. And we'll take a quick look at a penetration over here in the kitchen. So the layout of the kitchen is L-shaped with an island here, and this recess that we've preformed into the wall is going to be for ventilating the range hood so that that can vent to the outside. You'll notice a drain pipe here that was cast into the slab. Again, the owner laid this all out carefully using actually 2x to represent the finished walls so that the plumbers could actually put the plumbing pipes and the electric conduit in the right place. You can see more examples of those utilities coming up through the slab in this utility space underneath the stairs. So we've got some conduits here for electrical and for communications, and then there's some water coming up in the far corner of that space underneath the stairs. Let's take a quick look in the bedroom suite. So this is the bedroom itself. You'll notice a couple of partition walls here. The owner wanted us to leave those out because he's still working on the layout of the bathroom. We've got utility space here off of the main bedroom that's going to have laundry in it, washer dryer, and then a walk-in closet here, and then the bathroom beyond. This was designed as a 5-piece bathroom, and I think that means 2 sinks and a tub and a shower and a toilet. As I mentioned, the owner is thinking about just having a tub-shower combo. I'm not sure if that would still count for a 5-piece bathroom or not, but I'm not sure what else to say about that. Here's an example of a penetration through a roof panel. That's conduit that's been taped, it goes through the roof panel, it's sealed to the panel itself, and that'll be for a plumbing vent for this bathroom area. Basically, the plumber will run the vent pipe up through that penetration, and then it'll just get spray foamed around the vent pipe that goes up, and that'll create the air seal around that plumbing penetration. Let's go upstairs. So before we go upstairs, I'll just mention that these are temporary construction stairs that we typically provide for any one of our projects that has more than one level. We found that it's much more efficient for our crew to have nice stairs like this to run up and down on site during the raising, and we'll typically leave them here for construction. So, and some clients have actually asked if they can use them for their permanent stairs, but you can see they're construction stairs. We'll use them to get upstairs. So thanks to these timbers in the trad, these lovely timber walls that are supporting the insulated roof panels, we have this nice vaulted space, pretty typical of a trad. This open space here is basically a rec room. It's called a rec room on the plan, so kind of a multi-purpose space. We've got closets in the corners. We've got a 3/4 bath here in this corner, bathroom with a shower, open railing for the stairwell, and then at this end of the house are a couple of bedrooms. They're more or less symmetrical with closets in the corners. So this rec room space here has this nice vaulted ceiling with the stained timbers. You can see beyond this wall here that there is space that's vaulted, but the plans called for it to be enclosed to be mechanical space and storage space. So ventilation system was going to be installed up there, and oftentimes in a trad it will be installed in that space. It gets enclosed, so there will be a ceiling frame at this level, and then walls that go vertically, one here and one there, to kind of enclose the space above here. But the owner liked this open space so much that he's come up with an alternate plan for the ventilation system. It's going to be it's going to be a Zender system instead of a life breath system, and he's planning to install that ventilation system over in the corner of the bedroom. That'll give him the option of leaving this space open. So I think he's planning to stain the timbers that didn't get stained yet, and work out some arrangement of walls here to separate the two bedrooms, but still leave the vaulted space visible from the bedrooms. I was thinking that the windows in this wall here seemed a little high, but in fact, the shed roof for the bedroom suite below comes kind of right up underneath these windows, so that's why they have to be at this elevation. You can see a couple of other penetrations through the walls here. The two symmetrical box outs there on the wall panel are actually for the intake and the exhaust of the ventilation system that was to be installed there. With the ventilation system going over here, there will probably need to be some new penetrations to the outside to bring in that fresh air and to exhaust stale air. But there's a mechanical space up above here, flat ceiling above the stairwell, and it'll be possible to kind of run the necessary ducts and get those penetrations at some point, maybe at the far gable end at the other side of this flat ceiling. I did just want to note that, point out that the partition walls here come short of the timbers, and they're shimmed on the top of those plastic shims, and so that's something that we get questions about sometimes from builders or from owners, but the fact is this is intentional. We didn't frame the walls shorter than we intended to. We leave them down like that as a standard because we're prefabricating these partition walls in our shop, and we're delivering them flat pack to a job site, and then we're tipping them up into place. And sometimes we're tipping them up, long walls, big walls that have to fit under timbers or in other spaces. And it's helpful to have that little bit of clearance as we're tipping them up to get them into place and make sure they're properly positioned. Then it's a simple matter to shim, and we drive these engineered structural screws through the top plate into whatever's above, a timber in this case, to lock them into place. So you will see that in our houses. It's a feature of Unity homes that our partition walls are shimmed like that at the tops. I also just wanted to mention, I pointed out the taping of the interior skin here, the OSB, which is the interior skin of the exterior wall panels as part of the air barrier. We do take the air sealing very seriously for Unity homes because it's a key element of the energy efficiency, which contributes to the comfort and the healthy indoor air quality of our homes. We do blower door tests on all of our shells once they've been raised, and this shell had, for those building geeks out there, this shell had an air tightness number of 0.35 ACH 50 air changes per hour at 50 pascals. So we set up a blower door, we depressurize the house, we measure the results, and that's measured in terms of air changes per hour with the blower door running. In this case, it was 0.35. The lower the number, the better. Generally, we're shooting for 1 air change per hour or lower. The passive house standard for air tightness is 0.6 ACH 50, so by coming in at 0.35 ACH 50, we're essentially at half of what is already a very stringent passive house standard for air tightness. So we're real proud of our crew being able to achieve this kind of air tightness in a house like this. It comes from the precision with which we're building these components in our shop in Keene, and then the skill with which our crew is putting them together as well on site. The gaskets they use, the fasteners they use to make sure that everything comes together in a way that creates this kind of air tightness, which contributes to the comfort and the healthy indoor air and the durability that are benefits that the homeowners will enjoy. Thank you for watching this video, and stay tuned for more.